think once we build up some of the rapport that we have with our audience, they expect when things are going on that involve Detroit, they see that live. Now they're realizing tap in, and that's what that's the cool thing. Like even.
Wait, did you want me to start the stream with these videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Start with the long one first because it's Noah's question. Want to be able to get him a little bit more shine, and then the second one is Willie B, who had a really good take, and this was obviously earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to highlight, man, we're trying to give y'all some good reputable coverage.
All right, I'm running intro right now, then videos.
It's time to wake up, Woodward. The most listened to Detroit sports morning show is about to start. Start your day with a warm cup of Flannel Sam. Or how about a full cup of Detroit Kool-Aid?
Oh, yeah.
Mix in a little JB, and you got yourself the breakfast of champions. Live guests, fan reactions, and updates for your favorite teams. Wake Up Woodward is live now on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
I kind of wanted to ask you about the 37th pick. You know,
Let's get into it.
The second round, there's kind of this consensus that it doesn't really matter as much because most of these guys are going to be playing in the G League to start their career anyways, and they got to go through the development process. In a perfect world where you're the GM of the Pistons, what's the play here? Who are you taking, or are you shopping the pick out? What's the play?
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Corey King there. He says Maxime. I am there, Maxime, right now from Stanford, or I like Chaz Lanier. You're talking about some guys that can shoot in Jackson Money from North Dakota State. So I know the competition might be something that people are looking at, but shooters shoot. Yeah. And those types of skills, set shooters, especially pick and pop guys, that skill set does translate to the NBA. It's just a matter of can he be knocked off his course given like a lack of strength or physicality at the NBA level. But there are some very skilled players, and there's still some, in my opinion, some first-round graded players that will be available for the Detroit Pistons here. And that's why I'm more comfortable with the fact that they didn't trade up. Were there some prospects that I was intrigued by? Definitely intrigued by, man, definitely. But I think they got themselves in a good position here. And realistically, how about you, man?
I think it's very solid for the Pistons to pick a guy just like Chaz Lanier, who's a good perimeter shooter, who's a good defender himself, and he was SEC first team. He was he was All-American, collegiate All-American, the first team Woodward All-American award, Chaz Lanier, and that's a good pickup for the Pistons. They need a 3D type of perimeter shooter that could go out there and shoot the ball and could drive the basket.
And just like MGO Blue 9 in the chat, I approve of Chaz. And you know what? Wake Up Woodward does too. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of the WUW Crew production. So go on ahead and just run up those likes. Let's welcome Chaz to the 313. We've done stream after stream after stream now. Because shout out to Noah, intern Noah, who's been doing some writing for us. Been cooking up some Q&As, and we did a live stream. I know Willie B's been eager about being able to talk his talk. And he wanted to make sure he got that down on wax before the draft. And guess what? Now we got our guy Chaz, man. Absolutely the type of player that can shoot the leather off the rock. Flannel Sam, what up, though, brother?
Hey, man. Just, this is a good day. I know that Willie B, shout out to him yesterday, was very, very bullish about Chaz Lanier. He wasn't somebody that I mentioned as one of the top players that I wanted, but as the night went along, as certain players came off the board, it became apparent that Chaz Lanier was a possibility, and he's somebody that I was more than okay with the Pistons taking, and they did. And we're gonna spend most of the first hour of the show talking about it. But maybe a little bit before the second hour, we do have to talk about those Tigers as well, because they handled their business, won another series, and if we have time, we will get your guys' opinions in, trying to open up the phones. Hopefully, maybe middle of the second hour, maybe earlier than the middle of the second hour, but it is a jam-packed show. A lot of winning today.
A lot of winning. And like we said last night with a guy like Chaz, there is no reason. There is no aspect of this thing where I'm like, okay, I'm more okay with letting one of these vets go. I want more shooting. I want it all. I'm greedy. That's what I want right now. Give Cade everything that he needs when you're talking about spacing right now. And in Chaz Lanier, this is exactly what he does. We talked about the Detroit Pistons being able to go into the draft and being able to find a specialist. We knew that was going to be one of the possibilities for them, and they absolutely did. When we say specials, we talk about a guy who has consistently shot about 40% from behind the arc for 3 straight seasons. Hey, bro, check this out. On high volume, very high volume. But then people say, well, is he just a shooter? No, he has a little bit of wiggle to his game. He got a little dribble to his game. He can get into the paint. He can finish at the rim. And we talked about a lot of this last night on the draft shows. So thank you to all of you guys who supported. The numbers boom, both on Woodward Sports and Woodward Pistons. And it's awesome to see how much, support and how much excitement there is around a second-round pick. And that is Chaz Lanier, who I thought that some of these players were going to be first-round bye-byes. Mm-hmm. And even though they got drafted in the second round, Maxime as well, these guys had first round to, low first round to high second round grades. These are these talents where you need your scouting departments to be able to go and find those diamonds in the rough. I believe the Detroit Pistons did that with Chaz.
You know what? Obviously, Chaz Lanier was somebody that I looked at before the draft, but he was one of many. When I found out that the Pistons were actually picked Chaz Lanier, and we obviously talked about it a lot last night on the draft show. Shout out for anybody who tuned in. But once
shout out Platty. Shout out
Chris Platty as well, one of the elite ball knowers at the station. But once I was really able to fully dive in and focus only on Chaz Lanier, boy, do I have some power stats, some absolute doozies that I think will make you guys, and it made me even more excited about Chaz Lanier.
You teased that last night on the draft show, and I slept pretty good, man. I was like, you know what? Flannel's going to get into his bag, and he's going to come in this morning and absolutely make sure if there was any doubters that you guys are going to doubt just a little bit less. And all you have to do is look at the games. Because, look at the highlights. You see some of the weakness, too. I know some people have some concerns about his defenses. I don't think that he has to come into the league defense ready because he has a discernible skill set. Ron Holland had to come into the league defense ready because he's still developing some of the other aspects of his game. But I don't believe that, Chaz Lanier is going to be a guy who's going to get picked on necessarily, though he does need to improve. When we talk about weaknesses on his game, he does need to improve on who he is as a defender when the dribble handoffs and the pick and rolls and the pick and pop start happening. You don't want to see him get lost. It reminds me of another player like Jaden Ivey, and I saw him take some marginal steps forward defensively. And I saw him look the best he's ever looked defensively this year. Not that he's where you want him to be, but I was encouraged by the development staff here to be able to get these players showing great to promising improvement. And that's what makes this pick, to me, that much better. It's like you're not just getting a guy who you know have discernible skills. He's a little bit versatile. And you know that this staff is showing the ability to get a little bit more out of players like that.
Ooh, yes. And let me ask you this.
What up, Doc?
Do I give you the power stats now, or do we wait till after the break and maybe introduce the crew first? Because these
Let's
are
do that. Yeah, save the power stats.
Yes, I
definitely, man. Because I know the crew, the cast. You look around, it's a lot of people here who like hoops, and I know the voice of reason actually doesn't reason on our side of this to a full degree. I'm gonna get his take first on one Chaz Lanier, but I know that there was a player that we all kumbaya'd on to, and one Stanford's own Maxime Renaud, but. You know what? Shout out to the cast, to the crew in the sound booth. We do have Kavasi, Chase. Good morning, brother.
Hey, good morning. What's going on, everybody?
Chilling, man. How you feeling, man? You got the energy of a couple drafts, NBA draft yesterday, NHL draft tonight. Detroit sports, we're hoping that these teams, Pistons, are bolstering their positioning, and Red Wings can do something that helps them move a little closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they're able to add somebody who's going to be just like a solid piece to this team, or I mean, maybe they make a move and decide to like trade up or trade back and do whatever. I don't know. I still believe in the Eyes are playing, and I'm just keep sticking through it. It's a long, arduous journey, and I've been following Edmonton and Florida, like the teams who have been in the Stanley Cup the last 2 years, for like the last 6. It's like you've seen them struggle once they even just made it to the playoffs. It's a long journey, so we'll see. But like, I'm still like, I've done the marathon. This isn't my first marathon.
Trust me, I believe you, because I'm looking into his face and I'm like, I remember that look. I remember that look. That look of us believing in Kay Cunningham over the first 3 years of his career. And so it's like, you know what? I rock with that, man. And you could tell that Chase is passionate about the belief in the Eyes are playing. And I can't wait to see what Woodward Wings does. I can't wait to hear everybody's reactions on the. I know Monday we're gonna be able to get together and talk about this thing. But JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. What up, though? And good morning, voice of reason. look at you. You already know. You over about to start some trouble this morning.
No, I'm not about to start any trouble. But good morning to you guys. Draft last night. I tried to stay tapped in as much as I could, especially with the Pistons pick. You guys did an amazing job on the desk. Shout out to you all once again, and Chris Platty. Like I said, I had someone in mind. 76ers got there before Pistons did, and was kind of wanting Maxine at that point since my pick was gone. But you know what? It's not a bad pick out of Chaz as well too. So I know there's a little bit of concern, which we'll get into a little bit, but still, I think it's just a solid, smart, strategic pick from Trajan Langdon and the Pistons organization. So shout out to them for last night. So year one, success.
And they ain't waste no time, bro.
Room jersey back.
You know what? Let me throw it over to the couch too, man.
What's the bet?
We got that dude Justin and intern Ryan. What up, though?
Yo, what's good? I want this bet to be JB. What do you think that his projections are for his rookie season?
Rookie season, especially a second round pick, I'm not doing a whole lot. Maybe 8.5.
Does this got to go years down the line for you to feel comfortable with this bet? Because I'm down. I think he's going to be a bust as hell. I don't even think he's going to scrape minutes consistently. So
like 9 points a game.
Wow. If you don't play, you're a second rounder and you just don't play, are you even a bust?
You can be.
There is some promise. I mean, we know what the grades were for him. They were high second, and if somebody wanted to take an exponential reach on the first round, they could have did that at the end of it. But, no, not for me.
We'll set up the details off air.
Yeah, it's a nice prove. Willie B, dog. I saw him in the chat too. Willie B. I realized later he called us while we were on air, bro. When Janai Broom got picked. So I can't wait to get him back on air so he can definitely talk about that.
Justin, do you know what's great about you when it comes to the Janai Broom thing? I'm almost as low on him as you are, but you cannot stand the thought of any human being liking him as a prospect. You will find them and you will debate them.
To convert them all.
I just
show everyone the light.
Look, I'm trying to just be what I was dubbed when I got here. I'm just trying to lead people to the promised land, you know? I'm just trying to lead them there, let them, let their opinion ride, but at the same time,
it was
hopefully
Moses
listen
who
to
led
the
his
fact
people
that
to
they
the
don't have
promised
any he doesn't have any athleticism, and he's small, and he has no vert, and he has no lateral quickness. I just don't see it as an NBA prospect. I've seen a lot better, more skilled players with that type of profile that have failed in the NBA.
I'm pretty sure Moses led the people to the promised land, and then Christ is who saved our souls.
Well, that's why I don't call myself that anymore. Some people dub me it.
Hey, that is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Hey, but G Money, 3132. I see you in the chat. He says Chaz is NBA ready. He says I live here in Tennessee now, and that boy can hoop. And just to get a little bit more of the chat involved, I see you, Willie B. I see you. He says good pickup on Chaz Lanier, and you were so right on the money about that. He wanted, if it was a guard, Chaz Lanier. If it was a big, he wanted Janai Broom. Let me see here. Weezy D313 says rebuilds are so fun. And shout out to Weezy D313 for supporting the stream and a lot of you all being here. Jay Hart, look at Chaz as someone similar and could possibly follow the path of a Desmond Bane. And I know that these players, different sizes, different positions, but I do wonder to some degree if, even though it's a second round pick, if he's a better prospect of a player than even a Sadiq Bey was for the Pistons as a first round pick.
And that's interesting. And like I said, I think the power stats might sway people. And like I said, think whatever you want, but I found some very, very interesting stuff. I found some great power stats. I found a pro comparison that Bleacher Report put out that will really intrigue everybody. It's a little bit, I don't know, there's some context behind the pro comparison, but I can't wait to bring this all to you guys. I'm like giddy right now.
Yeah, look, you teased the numbers. Let's go early and say what up, though, to some friends and chat family. Get your thoughts and your comments in on the Pistons. Look, it's a second round pick. I wonder how much this moves the needle for the people. But get your thoughts in there, and we'll definitely get to you guys. And when we open up the phone lines, we look forward to hearing you guys' comments on whatever you guys want to talk about. But we got some hot topics, too, so. What friends? I think we got Matt Packs?
Yep, Matt Packs.
Hey, let's rock.
Hey. Chase here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they have partnered with us here at Woodward Sports. They launched their new products on May 30th, and it's at select retailers right now that you can go out and check out. You got the high-low getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality, unbeatable prices, and Kool-Aid's favorite, of course, that Boom Shakalaka.
Boom Shakalaka.
The live resin-infused tarantula. This one is the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCA, moon rocks that hit like a blizzard. Stay tapped in with us here at Woodward Sports for more details.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 29th at the Old Miami in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Ven Johnson.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Les Stanford Buick and GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred AWD for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com.
What up, though, people? It's Wake Up Woodward, your boy Brandon Dan, K. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, all sports knower and lover. And shout out to Platty, he's in the chat under the name, the Rap Cave Podcast. He says, this is the type of pick some people wanted last year with Dalton Connect. That was me. I think Chaz can be same or better, and we had some people on our live stream last night during the draft who even mentioned Dalton Connect, that effectively that was the role he was playing. In the clip earlier that we played from the live stream with Noah, that was one of the points that I made as well, is that when you look at who Dalton Connect was last year, this guy has a lot of that same grit. Not that even if Dalton Connect is not a plus defender, you're still looking at an individual who's going to go out there and have that motor turned all the way on. And that, to me, is something that you really can't coach or teach. We know this because we've dealt with players who, whether I agree or not about Drummond and such, there are people who feel the motor was never turned on despite how high level his skill was. They're saying no motor, and this man still made All-NBA third team. What could he have been with it? So with this development staff, with this team around this guy right here, I am more bullish about this second-round pick than I was about former first-round picks who were coming into worse situations, worse teammates, like just in worse development. You know, and then they get rid of Arnie Cantor, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with certain injuries and such. It's just like, you know what? I am really, really bullish about this pick because of his discernible skill, and I believe in his potential to be a 3-and-D player.
It does seem like there's an excitement about this second-round pick that almost seems, I don't want to say too good to be true, but here's the reality too. And before I get into my power stats, the thing that Chaz Lanier has that even Asar Thompson, Ron Holland didn't, and I think they're going to be better players, obviously, was the fact that if you were tuned into college basketball, Chaz Lanier was one of those players who was at the forefront of the conversation a lot of times because Tennessee was one of the best teams in by far the best conference in college basketball. They made the Elite Eight. They were constantly having big games against teams like Auburn and Florida, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Arkansas, etc., etc., etc. I don't know if I mentioned Auburn. And Chaz Lanier, more often than not, although he had some clunkers, showed up. He had some huge games in some of the biggest college basketball games seen all season long, and that matters, at least when it comes to early excitement.
Right.
We didn't see that with Asar Thompson, Ron Holland. You had to be an absolute sicko if you watched all of their games, because the G League,
and
Unite,
overtime elite.
That's just not. They're never going to have the cachet, at least when it comes to the fans of college basketball. And Chaz Lanier, he was at the forefront all season long, and he played fantastically.
And I see some people that say, he's basically Malik Beasley. That's comeback legs vids. Look, we hope he can become elite Beasley. We hope that. What Malik Beasley does in this league is very elite. And I'm hoping the Pistons get him back. I'm hoping they get Tim Hardaway back. I'm hoping they get Schroeder back. I'm hoping Uncle Tobias continues to have that three-point humming at a good clip for the Pistons. Because then you're talking about, like we said last night on the show, and I got to, again, set up that Krispy Kreme for my guy Flannel Sam. He continued to highlight all playoffs the shooting hope that some of these players in these playoffs were gifted with. And now all of a sudden, if you bring these guys back and you're expecting some marginal improvement, you get Ivy back who shot really good from three, you're looking at a team that can shoot the three ball at a pretty good clip. Going, 6, 7, 8 deep. So that, to me, I like the pick a lot, and I'm hoping that he can become something like a Malik Beasley. But I do believe his skill set puts him in a position where maybe he can have even a greater effect, because I believe in his defensive potential a little bit more with the 6'9" wingspan. I do believe he carries his weight a little bit more as well. And I do believe in his ability to get downhill just a little bit better. Not as quick as Beasley, but his ability to manipulate the footwork, the shiftiness, his ability to go from right to left, and then use his body to get the layup. And then you see him, he'll just dunk the ball in traffic, and he doesn't care. I like those little tidbits about his game that I'm hoping the Pistons can help to further develop. And then you're talking about NBA spacing. That type of stuff for players like him, it helps those guys.
That is the perfect, and I mean perfect, transition into the Chaz Lanier power stats.
Break it
because
down.
You added a lot of context to what I'm about to present right now. Chaz Lanier, when we talk about an elite skill set, obviously he's got some lesser skill sets that he flashed in college and can work on in the NBA. However, the man just shoots effing threes and makes effing threes, both 2 years ago at North Florida and last year at Tennessee. So, JB, if you want to put up the first one, Chaz Lanier in college, and I can break that down for everybody. 2023-2024 at North Florida, he averaged almost 20 points a game on 44% from behind the arc, on 7.5 attempts per game, and 13.1 field goal attempts per game. So the vast majority of his attempts were three-pointers, and he made them at an insane clip.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. However, you could say before last year, it was North Florida. You didn't have to go up against, though, the vaunted SEC defenses. However, in his 1 year at Tennessee, albeit as a super senior, which matters a little bit, but this is still very impressive, he averaged 18 points a game on 39.5% from behind the arc, on in very high volume, 8.2 attempts per game, and like at North Florida, the vast majority of his attempts were from behind the arc because he only averaged, well, not only, but relative to his three-point attempts, 14.8 field goal attempts per game. But this is where it goes even geekier and more in-depth, and these stats are courtesy of Bleacher Report. He was second in the nation in points per game scoring off of screens, and he was fourth in the nation in jump shot points per game. Those are some really geeky elite numbers that really highlight what he can bring. We all know that he can move off the ball. If you set a good screen for him, he will get open. He's got a quick release, and he will make it. And also, just obviously jump shots include threes. The fact that he can knock down jumpers and threes at a consistent level, that is absolutely huge. However, I'm not done. Chaz Lanier in college continued. These are where it gets even more geeky, and these stats are courtesy of Hoops Hype. Ooh. He was 64.2% from behind the arc.
That's the Cade Cunningham stat.
Yes.
Give it to me.
Yes, on unguarded catch and shoot threes. That's the 95th percentile in college basketball. And obviously, if he can get good screens and be wide open, what does that tell you? The man was absolutely dead-eye. But this next grouping highlights that his elite skill is being a three-point marksman, but he does other things. 1.231 points per possession in isolation, which is the 94th percentile in college basketball. 1.111 points per possession in transition, which is the 82nd percentile, and that to me highlights his underrated athleticism because he has it. The length and athleticism. He can finish in transition. He can get up there a little bit and dunk the basketball. Love to see that. And also 1.097 points per possession in the half court, which isn't surprising at all. 84th percentile. And the last one, which highlights his ability to move without the ball, find the open spot, and whether it's an easy layup, whether it's a three-pointer, 1.382 points per possession on cuts, which is the 91st percentile in all of college basketball, or was last year. These numbers, man, they really put something quantifiable to what you see when you watch him. And all of this makes me even more excited about him than before.
You know what? Because he's a guy who, at least at the collegiate level, you can say is elite at movement scoring.
Yes.
At all three freaking levels. Yes. I don't think people understand the prospect that you're getting, the high potential that you have with this guy, because I see King Yehuda. I respect you. He says you dudes need to be drug tested. I don't know how many here at Woodward Sport passed that. I don't know, but listen, talking about a second round pick like he's going to be all in.
What kind of drugs are we testing?
Huh?
What kind of drugs are we testing?
Listen, if it's hopium, I'm not passing. I can definitely tell you that one, man, because I am big on this pick right here. I am. I like the potential of it. But he says, talking about a second round pick like he's going to be all NBA. Dude is a role player, and that about it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what actually excites me about the pick. If you can find a role player in the second round, that's the thing. That's the whole point of this. And he has an elite skill set here. That's why I'm so glad that you went through the numbers, because it's not just that he can shoot. It's that he can shoot no matter what the situation is. Hand in his face, hand out in his face. Right up on the line, back off the line. You know what? Off the pick, off the pop, as a roller. I've seen my man dribble handoff, relocate, catch the ball, and just shoot. And it's like buckets. I'm sorry. That does get me a little bit excited, because when you realize how good of a shooter he is in open space, when you realize how good of a shooter he is off movement and relocation, that's when you should get excited. Because how many times in the playoffs, when some of our players, their legs were dead, we saw guys open, but the shots weren't dropping. I do look forward to a guy like this being able to come in and being able to contribute from that standpoint. And if he can defend, I do believe that that's going to give him a little bit more of an opportunity to effectively have some chances to hit more threes. And I know that dude, Justin, you pulled some stats. I know Ryan's working on some stats too, to try and at least see some recent comparisons. Two collegiate players have had similar success from a shooting standpoint, as well as for me. I know that he was playing this Dalton Connect role, and I know that Dalton Connect last year was a first-round draft pick and a draft that a lot of people said was weak. This year's draft was skewed by the amount of international players, man, that were taken in that first round, and how they emphasized defensive selections. And so what did that do? That actually had like 10 to 15 guys with first-round grades drop to the second round. Chaz Lanier is not a scrub. And when you look at who he was for Tennessee this year versus everything I liked about Dalton Connect last year, I covered Dalton Connect in person during March Madness. Like, when you look at Chaz Lanier, there's a whole lot to like here about this prospect who played at the same school and had some great success doing it. What up, though, Justin?
No doubt. And there's only a minuscule differences between Dalton Connect's stats from his time at Tennessee and Chaz Lanier's time at Tennessee. Yes, Dalton Connect had more rebounds, and 2 more points per game, but the shooting splits are almost identical. They both shot just below 40% from 3 last year, 39.5. They both shot above 45% field goal percentage. Dalton Connect's was at 50%, but he wasn't asked to carry the ball in a not a facilitator role, but more in an iso ball role, where he had a lot of plays set with him with Ziegler. Ziegler kind of took a little step back this year offensively, and Chaz Lanier kind of filled more of that role for Tennessee, which is why they weren't as effective as they were last year. But I really love the fact that their stats are almost identical, and you're getting a guy who is more athletic than Dalton Knecht, is better defensively than Dalton Knecht, and that's where I like the idea that he's going to be a better pro than Dalton Knecht, because Dalton Knecht is limited. Dalton Knecht can't guard. He is a pylon out there for the Lakers. There's a reason why he barely plays in the playoffs, and that's where Chaz Lanier, yeah, he's probably just going to be a role player, but he's going to be a very good role player. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to knock down some threes. He's going to play some good defense. And that's all you can ask for a second-round pick, because like you said, we were looking for someone who had an elite trait that we could use on this Pistons team to give us versatility. And that's what they did. They got a guy who could shoot threes at an elite clip and then guard 1 through 3 at a pretty high rate. You want to see him get better. You talked about it. His basketball IQ lacks sometimes where he gets lost in the sauce. But he has the ability and the tools to become a better defender. And when you put him with guys like a Sir Thompson, Ron Holland, who are great defenders, it's only going to help him. It's only going to make him better, and it's only going to support him to grow as a defender.
Because you're right. Because in Tennessee, he's going to be drawing the premier matchups on both ends of the court. In the NBA, he's not. His usage defensively is going to go way down compared to what he was in Tennessee. And it would be good on the Pistons to make sure they hide him that way. Why? So that he gets the best opportunity to have his opportunities to learn, make some mistakes, as well as see from the bench. And when you have a guy like this, I do believe that a guy like him who shoots the ball at 40% plus clip, I believe that you're going to get a whole lot more positive out of his minutes, even if it's a limited like 10 to 13 minutes per game. I believe he's the type of player who you can count on, even as a rookie, giving him 3, 4, 5 shot attempts from behind the arc in his moments and minutes in the game. As long as this guy is going out there and putting in the work, and he's not a pylon on defense, I think that Chaz Lanier is going to be a role player, and that to me is what makes it so different. And I see Detroit Gunny 76. Before I throw it back over to the guys, they got some more stat comparisons to other top players in college, other guys that had first-round grades and were taken in the first round. He says, my one question, is there a reason the Pistons didn't sign any undrafted free agents, especially a big man? Both Vlad Golden and Hunter Dickinson were available after.
Oh, my God. No. Kick it this way.
Let me just
get him out. Dickinson was the worst player ever in college, averaged 5 points a game. I know it's coming, Justin.
Let me brief this. I believe that the Pistons want to keep their ultimate flexibility, and I don't know how many young players you necessarily want to depend on. When you get to undrafted free agent, there's less discernible skill. There's less, I know this player can play these roles and give me these minutes and give me this production. I can map that for Chaz Lanier, especially playing off of some of the ball handlers and shot creators that the Pistons do have. But when you're talking that low, I would personally, especially as free agency is about to start to heat up, I would personally keep my flexibility. And it does make me wonder, do the Pistons have their eye on a big in free agency? I see you over there, restless Justin. What up, though, brother?
They do have a big
because he wants Hunter. He was wondering, why no Hunter Dickinson or Vlad Golden?
Shanghai Sharks are calling. Hunter Dickinson. See you in China, buddy. Because I can tell you what, just like Janai Broom, he has no elite skill in the NBA. He is a soft rebounder. He is a weight bully in college. He could not handle the ball. He is one of the worst passing big men I have ever seen in my life. Hunter Dickinson is not even remotely close to an NBA basketball player. Like it is literally absurd that people would think that he would have the skill and the athleticism. Like, I just imagine him guarding Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren would baby Hunter Dickinson with how athletic he is. Straight up. Jokic would absolutely annihilate Hunter Dickinson. Jokic is going for 60, 30, and 20 on Hunter Dickinson and Vlad Golden, because Vlad Golden is also another soft 7-footer who can't rebound. Like, how are you 7 feet tall and you're getting out-rebounded by guards on Michigan? Like, what are we doing? Like, you were a 7-footer. And now that you're not on the team, I can say this stuff because I did love you last year. Hunter Dickinson wore thin after his freshman year. The ski mask kind of got me. I can't lie. But still, Hunter Dickinson has just gone like this his entire college career. He is really good as a freshman. There's sophomore year, Michigan. Junior year, he left. Kansas. First round exit, first and second round exit, first 2 straight March Madnesses. Like, I mean, like he's supposed to be the savior of Kansas basketball, and he sucks. All right, I'm done.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, New Orleans gave him a call. I'm just saying that. He's heard all the doubters. And
shout out Troy Weaver. Come on.
And obviously, you're right if you put him up against like Jokic or I get what you're saying. I understand. And I don't need to vociferously defend Hunter Dickinson anymore. I just thought he was a little underappreciated at Michigan. I think it's a little unfair to compare his rebounding to Vlad Golden's because Vlad Golden was legitimately one of the worst rebounding.
No, Hunter Dickinson was a way better rebounder than Vlad Golden.
We can kumbaya.
I will tell you
this. He was still soft.
If Troy Weaver was here, I will tell you this. I do believe he would have been one of our signed undrafted free agents.
Thank God.
Right away. Even at the Jeremy Grant Classic, when he was up at Top Golf and everything, Pistons invited us out. DJ Joey was there interviewing people. I got to interview some people, do some articles, meet some people, and who do we see there amongst all the Pistons? One Hunter Dickinson.
Jesus Christ.
And Troy was in the building.
Hey.
It was interesting. And word, the worst kept secret then was that the Pistons had eyes for Hunter Dickinson. And when the season didn't quite go as planned and we knew he was going back to college, well, that was all she wrote. So Troy Weaver gone. I guess that saves you from a total crash out, Justin.
Honestly, that is like as bad as Janai Broom for me.
Think about that book there for him.
Like signing him as an undrafted free agent is as bad as if we would have picked Janai Broom in the second round. I'm serious. There was like about a couple players that just are absolute no-goes, and those are both of them. God.
Goodness gracious. And I see Combat League again. He said Chaz going to be a G League star day one. I hope he goes there and is able to get the reps, because where I'm looking for Chaz Lanier to really be somebody that we're hoping can crack that rotation solidly is second half of the season or right before the All-Star break. I want to see him go and get all the reps he can be. I want to see him go, because the Pistons in the G League, shout out to Jamel McMillan. He is the coach there. Son of legendary McMillan, head coach McMillan. And what this team does as it relates to sharing their philosophies, sharing the same plays, sharing the same terminology, sharing the same defensive schemes, having the same goals where they want their players to be, all the G League, all their team is going to do is work towards making sure Chaz Lanier can be what the Pistons need, so when they call on him, he can come up and be what he has to be. We saw them do this to a lesser degree with Dennis Jenkins. And he came up, and every time he played, Dennis Jenkins was solid. It wasn't a whole lot, and they didn't necessarily have a most pressing need for Dennis Jenkins until when? Second half of the season, especially when load management started to become a thing. And what did the Pistons actually do during that time? They lost ground. What if you actually have better players that you could depend on during those times? So I don't know how people look at this. Like back in the day, maybe second rounders were more of a crapshoot. But when you're picking high in that second round in a draft that's been skewed by the NIL and international players, the Pistons got themselves an opportunity to have a player that I do believe will contribute to them at some point in time this season.
And that's what we're talking about. I hope people aren't getting it twisted that we're saying he's going to be all NBA or something like that. I know I saw that comment in the chat. Just get real for a second, because when I'm, for example, hyping up what he did in college, really highlighting how the numbers even from 3 are more impressive than you even think, and he's got more skills that aren't elite but certainly are fine and could get some honing. We're talking about him eventually being a role player on this team. I don't think he's going to be like a Chris Middleton type draft pick, but we don't need him to be. In fact, I got one more thing, and this is a little bit biased because this article was done after Chaz Lanier was drafted by the Pistons, but Bleacher Report gave Mr. Chaz Lanier a pro comp. Does anybody care to guess who it is? After he was drafted by the Pistons, not before.
Desmond Bain.
Steph Curry.
You already know the answer, JB.
SGA. Jalen Brunson.
Jeez, I just want to like
Desmond
cheat and
Bane.
say Malik Beasley.
Put it up, JB. Ding, ding, ding,
Oh,
ding, ding,
six.
ding, 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 ding.
You know what? Listen,
Yeah.
I really didn't know this. I really didn't know this. I thought that was gonna be the cheap out, man. I was like, you know, let me take a shot of Kool-Aid real quick and say Malik Beasley. And I'm glad that I said what I said earlier about. I definitely want to make sure I put some respect on Malik Beasley's name. He is one of the elites. And if Chaz can get there, if that's the comp that other people are seeing based off their game, because it's a comp that I see with a little bit better, with a little bit more versatility on the defensive side and a little bit more versatility as it relates to getting to the rim. I love this comp.
I don't think that I would probably bet against Chaz Lanier ever having as good of a regular season as Malik Beasley did last year, because we can't forget about that, being second in the NBA in threes. However, the archetype I like. I like the off-ball, the movement, the three-point shots, the defense and creating for others being the weaknesses. Like I said, Malik Beasley to me would be his ceiling. And that's not a bad, like last year's Malik Beasley would be Chaz Lanier's ceiling. And if he does that, then he is an absolute steal at number 37, especially if he does it for the Pistons at some point.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what you want to see. And it's going to be interesting because the Pistons are going to have to make some decisions, because I see in the chat here, was that Combat League, whose minutes is he taking?
Yeah, that's my question.
We don't even know what the team is going to be
don't
right
know.
now. I don't want to lose any of those shooters, but if you just kind of look at things right now, it looks like they may lose one of those vets. We know that Schroeder is getting swooned right now by the Sacramento Kings. We do know that Malik Beasley is getting some attention, and they're saying that he's going to at least get the what's his name, Malik Monk treatment. You know, and this guy's getting 19 to 20 million a year. You know, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know quite what they're going to do there either. So it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate these free agents that they have to bring back. But until they figure that out, right now Chaz Lanier has great opportunity ahead of him, and the type of shooter that he is, I still believe that he's going to put himself in position to compete for that. We need a guy who we know is going to be ready down the stretch. I believe we need a guy who we know, hey, listen, when we throw that ball out to the corner, this is a guy who's definitely going to catch and shoot. I want him to be a player that can keep the defense honest from the wing. And right now, from that wing position, we got several players now that can do that. So I'm looking forward to him hitting the ground, looking at the opportunity that he does have, and being able to come through. And I see a couple other people here who are getting their thoughts in. Terrell Lamar believes that Tim Hardaway Jr. is gone. Let me see. Terrell Lamar also said that Tim Hardaway Jr. started on the bench. I do remember that at the beginning of the season. He also believes that Beasley might be gone. I don't think this spells the end of Beasley. I think that you want as many of those elite archetype shooters on your roster as you can have, especially while he's on a rookie contract.
Well, in Detroit Gunny 76, and this is where we have to add context, and most don't want Beasley back. And here's the thing. I've admitted that I have some open wounds about Beasley in the playoffs, and that people like Tyrese Halliburton benefited from having guys like Nesmith and Nembhard who actually elevated in the playoffs versus Beasley who tanked, which is kind of par for the course. However, when we're talking about bringing Beasley back or not, or whether or not a rookie second rounder could be a Malik Beasley archetype, we're talking about the contract that the Pistons would have to pay Malik Beasley, because he's not coming back for 1 year, $6 million again. Malik Beasley gave the Pistons more for the money than we could have ever asked for, and that includes the playoff flameout. But the question is, do you want to pay him? And I'm not saying that I don't, but it's not just as easy as vacuum Malik Beasley. Do you want him here or not? It's a salary cap league.
He's going to get, if he signs here regardless, even if it's a home discount, it's still going to be a significant raise. $6 million last year. If you give him, if he accepts the taxpayers exemption for 14.1 or the mid-level exception for like 15.6, they're saying that he's going to wind up leaving some money on the table out there. He earned it. And there are some teams looking to be able to step into the next tier, and they believe that Malik Beasley can help them just the same way they helped the Pistons. Now, Trajan Langdon, he really values continuity, consistency, and he values players that want to be here too. But he also talked about the fact that these guys and their managers, their agents, they got jobs to do too. So it's going to be interesting as both Schroeder and Beasley played themselves into well-deserved raises. It's going to be interesting to see how the Pistons navigate that. But they did bolster themselves just a little bit. To me, they had great opportunities to move up in this draft. They had great opportunities. They have all the capital they needed. You saw just to trade up to get Rasheed Flemings took second-round picks, just like we continue to tell people for the last, month and a half of us covering and building up to the draft. So if they stayed, and what did ESPN do? We covered this. ESPN went out and said, Chaz Lanier is their guy. And you look at the way that those 6 picks before went, a lot of that kind of laid out right. So he must have been getting some good intel. This to me means that, yes, did they have their eye on people, potential trade-up candidates? Maybe. But if you literally don't trade up for a first-rounder and you sit back for a Chaz Lanier, I do believe it's because you have some aspect of hope that this guy can contribute in potentially year one.
Well, and at worst, I could see Chaz Lanier being, and we talked about it at great length last night on the draft show, that minutes eater type of player, because not everybody is going to play all 82 games. Actually, most players won't. And when you look at last season, Beasley played 82, Holland 81, Duran 78, Hardaway Jr. 77, Tobias 73. It was a very, besides for Jaden Ivey, of course, a pretty healthy team. But there are going to be moments where guys are going to need a night off as the attrition of the regular season, which is an absolute gauntlet, 82 games, longest season in all of professional sports goes on. Players are going to need nights off. Players might get a little nicked up and have to miss a week or two. Hell, it's probably more likely than not, and knock on wood, of course, that at least one or two Pistons players suffers a Jaden Ivey-like injury or has to miss more than 20 games like Asar Thompson did, although probably for a different ailment. That's where a Chaz Lanier, even if he plays part of the season with the Motor City Crews, will be valuable. Yep. Every teams have that. Even the best teams have guys like this.
And Simone Fontecchio played in 75 games last year, and he got, let me see here. Is this for last year? Hold on, let me make sure I'm looking at last year. I want to make sure I got the season and not that it's playoffs. Yep, regular season. 75 games? Yeah, of course, 75 games. 16 and a half minutes per game. Because I see you in the chat, I think it's Cartier, who's combat lead. So for combat legs, for some reason, all the names in the chat are a little changed. So sorry about that, guys. I don't know necessarily what's going on with YouTube. It might be a glitch on their end. But Cartier, I'm going to address you that way if that's who it is. That's one of the players right there that I believe there are some minutes to be able to take. And what were they depending on out of Simone Fontecchio? Just hit your open freaking three-pointers. That's it. I do believe that I was about to say Cartier. I believe you too, Cartier. But I do believe that Chaz can come in and at least hit some of those three-pointers. You look at what Simone Fontecchio did last year. He did shoot on three-pointers a game, 33.5% from behind the arc. But that's what I'm saying. Gross. I told you guys, I believe that Chaz can come in and get 10, 13, 15 minutes a game and give you anywhere from 3 to 5 three-point attempts and give you something at least reputable. You're talking about, can he get you to 30%, 33% from behind the arc? Chaz's shot is so pure, and I do believe it will translate, that I think those 16.5 minutes per game, at least some portion of it, might be better spent with a guy like a Chaz Lanier. And I get it, different positions, different heights and skill sets, but when you just kind of look at the roster, when you look at the amount of games that players did play, and you look at the minutes that went to these players, even Wendell Moore Jr., who played in some games, man. Like I'm just looking down this roster, like there is some opportunity here. There is some opportunity here for him to be able to get in. Lindy Waters played in 14 games and got 9 minutes per game.
And that's who we're talking about. Bobby Klintman played in 8. Dennis Jenkins played in 7. Wendell Moore played in 20. I mean, Chaz Lanier is going to see the court for the Pistons this year.
And let's call out the minutes. Yeah. Wendell Moore, 20 games, 11 minutes per game. Like, they're giving opportunities to these guys. And when you hear him say, look, we're looking largely to potentially run this thing back, then that means that there's great opportunity for Chaz Lanier to enter this team right now and be one of the better three-point shooters on this team percentage-wise. When you look at this thing, this is what's crazy. You look at the three-point percentages, and it's like a bunch of the G League guys and then Malik Beasley and Jaden Ivey, because obviously I don't have the parameters that shave off game minimums. But you're looking at Alondas Williams. He hit one of one threes on a year. So then Malik Beasley, four
41.6, almost 42% on 9.3 3-point attempts per game. And in this one, Jaden Ivey, still bullish on my dog. 41% on 5.1 3-point attempts per game. And then you got Bobby Clipman, Lindy Waters, Marcus Sasser as your next three in percentages, and then Tim Hardaway and Cade Cunningham. They need more three-point shooting. Chaz Lanier would step into this roster right now if that three-point shooting translates, and he would instantly jump a lot of these other people because I can keep going because Simone Fontecchio is behind Tobias and only ahead of Isaiah Stewart, next. So that's where I'm like, they needed a player like this. You get the opportunity to take a shot. When you talk about taking a flyer on a guy who could pan out more so than not, this is a pick that I do get excited about.
And shout out, I guess your old YouTube name was Mr. Dante 102, but we know you're Dante 151. Man, what on earth is going on, by the way?
YouTube what happened between 102 and 151? I wonder what happened. Where's 103? Let's go.
With the super chat, thank you very much again. Trajan Langdon even said that the Pistons were looking to trade up, but that opportunity didn't come night one of the NBA draft, and I'm totally fine. And Dante, I am totally fine too. I'm relaxed and chilling today. It's a good day. It's a good day to be a Pistons fan.
I guess my question is, because even though I read that as well too, Trajan was trying to jump back up into that first round. Who were they eyeing in that first round to kind of take, in your opinion?
I wonder, man. Part of me was wondering if it was a little bit of that Danny Wolf archetype, because we know that some of the rumors were that they were looking at 7-foot types. But then my mind, as I started to look at some of these more defensive bigs that got taken in the first round, I was like, part of me wonders if it was that. But I don't know. It's going to be intriguing. I can't wait to be able to talk to Omari to see some of the intel that he has, at least on that first round. I know in a couple days we'll be able to have some opportunities to get some intel.
I have some intel on the YouTube change of the names. If you notice, everybody has the @ emoticon in front of their name, so it's their @ name, not their display name. So if you guys have, like, much like on Twitter or X, you can be like Mr. Eggman 234, but then your real like display name that everybody sees is just like, or it's your handle and your name are like two different things. So like if you click on like Dante, for example, Mr. Dante 102, if you go to his channel, it says Dante 151, which is what you normally see in the chat. Same thing for Cartier and other people in the chat. So it's not your name that changed. It's whatever your @ is on YouTube. If your handle is different from your display name, it's now showing your handle, not your display name.
All right. Well, that makes sense. It makes it not so that it's some rant. There's a method, and I appreciate you, Chase, for bringing that to our attention. And I ain't say that with the $2 super chat. I'm drinking the piss.
Hey,
Huns
come
Kool-Aid.
on.
I mean, don't
hope
that.
I mean,
yo, why does it have 3 likes already?
That's nobody, by the way.
That's nobody.
Nobody. Why does it got 3 likes already?
Are you happy or not? I'm confused right now.
So, and chat family, who liked this already? This is so crazy.
Come on, man. And thank you for the super chat, by the way, though.
Thank you.
Man, that's you're really confusing me with that. Are you happy? Are you sad? Put that in the chat too.
Greg says I feel violated. Let's say what I've done with some friends, man. Yo, this is fun. I as soon as I was saying that, Mr. My City 313, one of the OGs both here as well as Woodward Pistons, thank you for always supporting. He says it's going to be a fun ride next season. And this is from people who we've had to be each other's therapy over the last few years before this renaissance. So I'm ecstatic for people like you, Mr. My City, and all the people who've been in the trenches. I know, Flannel, we've had some conversations, many discussions over the years. Shout out to our bros, some that are still here, some that aren't. And I got to always shout out to Jeff Freddie. Now we get to talk about better times.
Yes, we do. It's beautiful. And speaking of better times, the Detroit Tigers won another series. Just keep hammering away, winning series after series, handling business. It's a beautiful thing. And there have been so many contributors. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. But let's do merch and Planet Fitness.
All right, cool. Let me tell you about some merch that we got going on right now. We got the Woodward Tigers gear that you can find over at woodwardsports.com. All you got to do is click on that shop tab. This is what you should be wearing down at Comerica Park whenever the Gritty Tigs are up to bat. And you can't forget about the LFG Red Wings t-shirts and hoodies. I think we need a draft night t-shirt made as soon as we figure out who we're picking tonight as well too. But shout out to the Red Wings. You can get all of these things at woodwardsports.com. All you got to do is click on that shop tab, and you also can wear all this nice Woodward gear at Planet Fitness.
Hey, absolutely. They got workout gear as well, and you can get your fitness on this summer at Planet Fitness. The high school summer pass program allows teenagers 14 to 19 years old to work out for free all summer long. This allows teens to prioritize their mental and physical health while school activities like sports and gym class are in recess. Since launching this program, Planet Fitness has invested more than $300 million in waived memberships dues to promote your health and wellness. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We're in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, 0 down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here? Do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. It's 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Yo, what up, everybody? If you're looking to upgrade your relaxation game or simply just want to chill out, go check out the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. They are the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, and they have top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. We've actually got a new model here in the studio. Goodbye to the Pharaoh Q. Hello. I don't know, the Mr. Presidential. I almost got like the seal on it, like it's got the Air Force One seal. But yeah, they got a bunch of top brands there. Infinity Osaki, they're located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc. He's the creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. There's a lot of them out there, and he has the best one. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com. Scan the QR code Massage Chair House. Your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Place some bets with Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on the screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, Caesars will throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor and make some money tonight.
What up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and chat family is already on one, despite the names being something weird in the chat. But guys, still going ahead and smash that like button to support the WUW Crew and to support Woodward Sports. We appreciate you guys greatly. And now you guys see the victory shades on. Shout out to White Claw, who sponsors the White Claw Tigers Tour. They hooked up the crew. They'll hook you up too with some victory shades. with the White Claw logo on them. So when we get down to the business, you guys can throw your shades on too. So if you got some shades, go on and throw them on. And this is interesting headline here as we get into this. Detroit Tigers winning another game, winning another series. Who's counting? Ends gets win with incredible start. 1,371 days after his last game. That's absolutely incredible. It's awesome to see the Tigers go out there. And you know what? The bats, they definitely picked up the team. And Ends, he did his job as well.
Fire up, baby.
I would say
fire up. Did any Broncos doing anything like that, Justin?
Did his job. It was like, yo.
5 scoreless.
Well,
fire up.
Chase, you're gonna really like the first thing I posted. I put up then because you're a Central alum. But yeah, Dietrich Ends did.
Ryan too. Shout out Ryan.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Central people in the room and the Western person as well. At T-Foss.
Yeah, the legend.
Absolutely. But a shout out to Western as well. Mr.
No,
Justin Sittell.
fuck Western.
Hey. I love everyone.
Spencer Torkelson.
You don't love role players. You don't love Ben Wallace.
I mean, that is factual.
I don't even consider Ben Wallace a role player. I consider him like an elite defensive
You don't
player.
love Tyrese Halliburton.
I do not love Tyrese Halliburton.
What the Hallie?
I do not love Tyrese Halliburton at all.
The Halliburton?
Shout out to Spencer Torkelson too.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a lot on these guys, but I'm not going to lie. Dietrich Ends was somebody that I had never heard of. I think a lot of people had never heard of. I thought he was going to be an opener and not a starter who goes 5 innings, but he's just one of many unsung heroes on this team. And when you look at this Tigers team as a whole, because they're 20 games over 500, 9.5 games up in first place, the main reason to me, obviously, is Tarek Skubal following up a Cy Young season with another Cy Young caliber season, and their positional player all-star Riley Green following up an all-star season with the leap up to this point that we all wanted him to take, putting up darn near superstar numbers. That's the main reason, but there are a plethora of contributors. And if you want to put up the Tigers 2025 unsung heroes, JB, if you would, this really highlights just how many guys contribute on different scales. You look at one game, Dietrich Ends yesterday, 5 innings, 1 hit allowed, 0 earned runs, got the win against an Oakland A's lineup that is not bad at all. The A's can't pitch, they can hit, except when it's against Dietrich Ends. But if you go a scale up, 1 month, Jahmai Jones. In this 1 month, oh my goodness, I'm blind as a bat with these sunglasses, but that's okay. 29
victory.
It's for the victories. 29 at-bats, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 2 doubles, 4 walks, a slash line of 379, 455, and 759, and a 1.213 OPS. I don't give a damn that it's a small sample size. It's Jahmai freaking Jones. Who expected this? And how big time has he been? And he was big time yesterday. And also, for this half of a season, shout out CMU, Zach McKinstry. 4 home runs, 24 RBIs, 8 triples, tied for the AL freaking lead with a 277, 355, 438 slash line, a 793 OPS, and a 2.1 wins above replacement, which is 3rd on the team, by the way, in terms of positional players behind Riley Green and Javi Baez. This is part of the story of the Detroit Tigers. Guys that nobody expected to perform at this level, and whether it's you're needed for a month when Andy Ibanez isn't playing up to par and you're Jahmai Jones, you come through. Whether it's Dietrich Ends and there's a lot of pitching injuries and the pitching chaos hasn't quite worked this year like it did last year, it's a Dietrich Ends. Whether it's a half a season, Zach McKinstry playing better than he ever has in his entire career, it's him too. You love to see it, and the reason I highlighted this is because all 3 of those guys showed out and showed up yesterday in a dominant win.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Cavassier, man. Got that smile on his face for his Chippewas. And, that just continues to add to the story. When I saw that, I was like, yo, I don't know who this guy is. You dig into the story a little bit, and it's just like, yo, you know what? You feel good for stories like this. And the fact that we know that the Detroit Tigers are not in this thing for cute moments, cute seasons. They're in this thing to win. And for them to be able to go and down to even, the details like this, I don't know what this team does, but you look at even what the bullpen did after him to prop up this and continue to make sure that this was going to be a dominant victory for the Detroit Tigers. And it's like A.J. Hinch, he's just a wizard. That's just exactly what he is. When you talk about pitching chaos, when you talk about just command over his team and over his staff and over what they need, this team, it just doesn't matter. They continue to prove to me that they are on a collision course for the World Series.
Hey, they very well could be, but I don't want to. They're one of the favorites right now in the American League. Certainly a top 3 favorite. When you also look at this team yesterday and this team throughout the season, there's a couple of players that I don't want to leave out because there was obviously a lot of unsung heroes yesterday. But how about some standouts for this team? If you want to put that one up, JB. How about Gleyber Torres, the A-plus acquisition by Scott Harris, especially given his contract this offseason? Look at what he's done. By the way, going to be your all-star starting second baseman. 8 home runs, 41 RBIs, 41 walks to 36 strikeouts. As you see, I put have mercy in there. That's just insane. More walks than strikeouts halfway through the season. Shout out John Stamos from Full House. That deserves a have mercy.
All-time greats.
A 281, 386, exclamation. That's an insane on-base percentage, especially for Gleyber Torres, who was never a really high on-base guy with the Yankees. A 430 slugging percentage, and 816 OPS. But also, Spencer Torkelson, been in a bit of a slump, had a rough month of June. But yesterday, he had a big torque bomb, and when you look at the numbers he's put out throughout the season, 17 home runs, 50 RBIs, it's basically the half point on this at the season, so he's on pace for basically 34 and 100. You love to see that. Those would be career highs. With a 224 average, which isn't great, but that 328 on-base percentage is more than acceptable. It's over 100 points higher than his average, which I do like, although I'd like him to hit a little bit better, and a more than acceptable 474 slugging and a more than acceptable 802 OPS. I understand if you're holding him to 1-1 standards, this might not be up to par, but if you're being fair with him and judging him next to the expectations that we all had for him before the season, you would have taken this any day of the week. And you certainly would have done backflips and been basically kissing Scott Harris's feet if you knew that Gleyber Torres was going to do that. So shout out to Gleyber and Torque as well. They showed out. They've been playing well all season.
Yeah, and shout out to our guy KG. Every time I see Gleyber Torres continue to do what he does, that was a guy that KG was very bullish on to start the season. And to see him being able to have this type of impact for the squad, it's like shout out to Scott Harris. He's definitely earned that trust in Harris. And I believe that this is a season that's going to make any fans that are on the fence about that, I'll fall right in line. This Tigers team is so dominant. It has a lot to do with the fingerprints that he's had, to be able to put on this team and be able to in the relationship. This is one of the more underrated things that I love about all of the teams that have now made the playoffs. The relationships between the front office and the coaches seem to almost be more like family and less like, work related, even though all of them are about their business. We like the relationship between the bromance between Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. And I like what's going on here with Scott Harris and A.J. Hinch. They just seem to be in lockstep in terms of who he's identifying are players that that A.J. Hinch is able to put in some really, really good positions, including, I believe, to wait for a player like a Spencer Torkelson to get there. I believe that the Tigers thought he would get there. I think A.J. Hinch thought he could get there. Otherwise, why do you start the season with this guy in such a crazy why do you start the season with this guy in such a crazy position? My bad, y'all. It was breaking news. Looks like Masai is out as vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors. So my fault on that. Just popped up.
No, that's breaking news.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do. I believe A.J. Hinch is one of those guys who he identified, they believed in, and they saw the work that he was putting in, and they say, hey, we do believe a guy like Spencer Torkelson is going to be able to contribute greatly for us.
Hey, and he's been good. Whether you like him or not, and I wasn't someone who was big on Torque before the year. He's been good. I haven't really said anything negative about him, and neither should anybody else. And Rando Small, shout out to KG. We all miss you, bud. Absolutely. Yeah. He is the man. And I see this one from what's that guy's name?
Wow, Raptors.
T.S. Tui Jr.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
I had to take off the glasses for that one. Sorry, I messed up. But like I said, I can barely see anything. But that's all right. Why do strikeouts matter for Torres but not Green? And trust, I'm not going to crash out. I think that's actually a decent question. The reason why I highlight that for Gleyber Torres is in this day and age in baseball where everyone's trying to hit for power, it's more about launch angles and not about batting average so much. Strikeout rates have been high. And somebody having more walks than strikeouts at this point in the season is very, very rare and something that I had to highlight. For me with Gleyber, it's not so much about his lack of strikeouts. I'd still be glazing him for this just with the amount of walks that he's had and the on-base percentage. And when it comes to Riley Green, just look at every other number out there. Riley Green is putting up a all-star season, a borderline superstar season if he can finish the year hot and even better than he has throughout the first half. What's up? I'm talking about Riley. Yes. I don't care about his strikeouts as long as everything else is elite. I just don't. I don't care about strikeouts. Did anybody care that Ellie De La Cruz led the MLB in strikeouts last year? What?
Ooh.
No! No! Only Riley Green strikes out. No! Sorry.
My man Flannel had that nut punch the whole show. You were sitting on that one.
I was going to be on my best behavior today. No, but that's actually a good question. I thought I answered it pretty respectfully.
Flannel, I'm with you, dog, to be completely honest.
You were sitting on that stuff.
Riley Green, when you look at this lineup and you look at what this team has been missing, and it's been that big bat, that power bat that you can count on for extra base hits and home runs. And I think that's why you're seeing the strikeouts go up, is because obviously he is trying to hit more home runs and he's trying to hit more extra base hits, and that's what you need on this team. He is showing you that he is an elite hitter. He has a better OPS than Jose Ramirez right now. Like, we're talking about him making this elevation to being one of the best hitters in all of baseball. And he's only 24 years old, so the sky is the limit. And let's just think about when, after this year, when he's done hitting for power, after he hits for power and he is going to have over a 900 OPS, think about an offseason of curating his swing again and still hitting for power, but then bringing the strikeouts down next year and then being a better combination of the two and just continuing to grow, because that's what MLB baseball players do, especially guys like Riley Green, who every year in his career you can see he has gotten better every single year. And in some regard to his game this year, probably the two biggest things are his power and his defense. His defense has 100% improved. He's played great out there. And then his swing, it's just powerful. If it hits the center of the bat, it is going flying. It's going over 100 exit velo, and that's what you want to see. I looked at his they showed it on the video board yesterday, all his home runs and his average distance on his home runs. 395 feet is his average distance for home runs. That is a long way to hit a baseball.
I mean, I know it doesn't have the ring, but Riley bombs have been a thing. No, obviously I don't care.
Need a new name for that.
Yeah, I don't care whether it's a cheapie or a bomb. It doesn't mean anything to me, but that's a good stat, though. You've noticed how many
dings?
Wing dings?
Green dings, yeah.
Green dings!
No, but I honestly think that how awesome is it that and you guys are going to be shocked that I'm bringing this up, the only position player that really didn't come to play yesterday was Riley Green, and the Tigers still scored 8 runs and blew the A's the F out. So shout out to not only Riley Green for the great post All-Star season he's having, following it up with even a better year. Shout out to many, many players on this Tigers team. I didn't even mention Wentz. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I gave 5 players the ultimate glaze session today already.
Yeah, and I see Greg 2025 in the chat. I see some of the names are starting to look familiar now. So I saw someone in the chat, I think it was What Up Doe with Detroit Gunny, who gave some instructions on how you can get your name back to the original one. So Greg, he says, AJ already making moves for the playoffs, and I wonder if that's as it relates to Dietrich Ends. I do have to ask, because I don't know much here. What do we expect out of a Dietrich Ends? Because we understand with Jackson Jobe going down, that might affect a little bit of your playoff rotation or your playoff depth, at least from the pitching standpoint. Is a Dietrich Ends somebody that we're just looking at to step in place right now, or is he a guy that we're looking to step in and potentially play a little bit more like we saw out of a Jackson Jobe?
I'm not going to lie. I expect nothing.
Yeah.
And that's okay, by the way. That is perfectly okay. If all Dietrich Ends does this entire season is what he did against Oakland, He's
we
done
got
enough.
The victory shades on because of
I mean, here's the reality. Before yesterday's outing, which was his career highlight for sure, he had 11 total appearances, 1 start, a nice ERA in 2021 with the Rays in 9 appearances. He's 34 years old. I mean, I'm not saying that he's never going to pitch again, but when Reese Olson gets healthy, is Dietrich Enns going right back to the minors? Probably. But that's okay. He's Dietrich Enns. He's an unsung hero for a reason. And he will always have the flannel glaze session from this show.
He will always have that one, man.
Much appreciated.
Hey, and that means something. Shelby Miller, he'll always have that. We and it was dope, man, when we got to get Shelby Miller in studio last season. But it's going to be intriguing to see what A.J. Hinch does to shore this thing up, how aggressive the Detroit Tigers do get as the trade deadline approaches. But right now, those things almost feel like complete first world problems. It feels like when you go to like Minchie's or your favorite froyo spot, you fill up on all the toppings, you're good to go, and you're still like, you know what? I just want one more, just a little bit more caramel on top. And I feel like the Tigers are starting to get there, like the conversations about what we hope they do at the trade deadline. Meanwhile, they just keep winning. They just keep leading the AL and leading the Central and leading all of baseball. It's incredible. What's
one step, I would say, below first world problems? I understand what you're saying. I don't think that they're necessarily
just beneath.
I don't think that they're necessarily first world
I will
problems.
accept that.
But
third world problems.
I mean, I wouldn't go third world. I would go first and a half. Because I still would like, and I know, Justin, you agree 100%, I would like the Tigers to make
the
a move or
suburbs
two.
of the first world.
Sure.
There
sure.
we go. Okay.
But
first world.
Yeah, we can see it.
Do I firmly believe that
you can see it from our porch?
that with the team as currently constructed, that they'll.
That's it. Almost knocked my hat off, Jay.
No. Do I believe that the team as currently constructed will win the division, could, even if things go their way, get to the World Series and make it? Absolutely. But at the same time, every team at this stage is looking to upgrade whatever flaws that they have, whether it's injuries, whether it's, let's just say, Bo Brisky's in the minors this year versus last year. He was a big contributor. Do you need another reliever? I mean, obviously the Tigers are starting to get healthier, and when Matt Vierling comes back, they'll be darn near as healthy as they've ever been. But if somebody else goes down, you always have to prepare for things like that, because at the end of the day, and this is first world problems. What I'm about to bring is a first world problems. Trey Sweeney's got a lot of playing time this year, and most teams, even the great ones, have a Trey Sweeney who is the weak link of their lineup. But if they could actually upgrade that would make them even more formidable. I'm not pounding the table for like a splash move, but I think they'll make some moves. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see what the chat is feeling too. I know everybody is obviously hyped up about the Tigers, and you're looking forward to the next one. I see you in the chat, Jason McNatt. He says, I will be at the Nationals Tigers game. All 3 of them. I'm so excited. Yeah, definitely, man. The Tigers are instantly becoming exactly what we thought and knew they would be. When they start winning, downtown is electric, man. There's like very few places that you would rather be. The people, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the background. It doesn't matter the belief system. Everybody's down for the Tigers and for the atmosphere that the city has. It's cool to see the Hudson Building as well starting to make his way up. Because you guys know me, I am big on the city, big on the atmosphere, big on the environment, big on how we show out. And we continue to do that more and more. And as the Tigers are continuing to win, it's dope to see how excited our fans are in the chat. Because you know how when Woodward Sports started, how the reception was for the Tigers and for the Pistons and even for the Red Wings. It was like, please move on and get back to Lions. Now we got people who are ecstatic about what this team is. And it's because the organizations have finally decided to take themselves more serious.
Absolutely. And do you want to take some phone calls?
Absolutely.
So just let me pin this in the chat. 313-552-6322. If you guys want to call in and talk draft, talk about Chaz Lanier, give the glaze session in for the Tigers, or even if you want to be a little nitpicky and talk about where they can improve, we're all ears. So give us a call, 313-552-6322, and we will. You'll talk to Chase first, and then you will talk to us. But we've got Caesars
No.
I think it's
Buddies,
me. I'll do
Buddies
a
and Dr.
double
Pierce.
Well, Buddies and Dr. Pierce?
Yep.
Buddies Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. And 79 years later, they got 22 locations in this great state of pure Michigan. And fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddies Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddies Pizza mobile app and start earning today. And add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That is the number 10 MEAL, buddiespizza.com. And attention, sports fans. So that's all of you beautiful people out there. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni Network, where he's offering top-notch injury advice. Guys, trust the guy that D-Mac does, because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
If you've got a crisis, let Vin point the way. Step 1, verify with details and photos. Step 2, engage your attorney. Step 3, notify your insurance provider. Get justice with Vin Johnson Law. Justice. Shout out to Batman, man. That's my favorite superhero. And you know what's some of my favorite people? You chat family. So go ahead and smash that like button for Wake Up Woodward and Woodward Sports. We appreciate you guys for supporting us this morning. And I see you, Randall Smalls. Is that the only one that we got to clear up?
I believe so. We might have missed some before.
All right, I'll at least read Randall's here. He says, $5 super chat. I'm in the minority, but think Tigers need to do a small move, maybe Adonis Chapman or a power arm in the bullpen.
Aroldis Chapman's not a small move, so I'm all for it. Imagine a back end of the bullpen where you can deploy Tommy Kahnle, Will Vest, and Aroldis Chapman, who is having the best year he's had in a long time and looks pretty much like prime Chapman at his ripe old age of 37. Yes, bring Aroldis Chapman home. Absolutely.
I see what up there with Detroit. Gunny also has Aroldis Chapman in his top pitching possibilities. So, and I see he got a whole rack of names there that could be available for the Tigers.
You've done your homework.
He's definitely done his homework. How many names are there? At least 10, 11 names?
Yeah.
Hey, let's rock. And with a GM like Scott Harris, I am very confident that this is a guy who's going to be able to find a diamond in the rough if need be. Yeah. He's done that. You look at this roster right now, and it's like, wow. Maybe we need to go to like the casino with some of these GMs because they're getting something right.
You know what? You want to talk a little Masai Ujiri?
I do. That's crazy, bro. What the heck? All right, let's rerun that and get the actual headline because I know Shams naturally was first to the table with this one, but long story short, he's out. What I'm hearing is he had 1 year left on his contract, and that this was effectively writing on the wall that maybe they were going to go in a different direction. So, breaking news from Shams Charania, Masai Ujiri is out as vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors, Sources tell ESPN Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment and Masai have decided to part ways as he was entering the final year of his contract. Sources tell ESPN.
I'll tell you what, you can't lose for even a year or two. We've seen that with coaches. We see this
Dwayne
with
Casey?
executives.
No, Masai.
I mean, even like bigger examples, like Nick Nurse, for example, who won a championship and was gone a couple of years later. Masai Ujiri. There's really nothing left from that magical season, and I understand that it's getting to where it's not ancient history yet, but more than 5 years. But man, you really don't get a lot of leeway to lose in the NBA. It seems like even more so than some sports. The NHL's bad too, or not bad, but like short leashes are definitely a thing. But I'm surprised with this. But at the end of the day, they've been irrelevant for what, 4 years now? Just losing season after, well, no, actually only 2 consecutive losing seasons. A little bit of a purgatory prior to that, but yeah, a little surprised.
That is very, very surprising, especially a guy who's had some success and you thought was considered amongst the upper echelon in the NBA when you're talking about your front office executive. So to see this move is kind of shocking from a Raptors organization who I just think, just to some degrees, I don't know what they're thinking of themselves, quite frankly. I don't know if the championship they got is overinflating things for themselves, but it's like you had Kawhi for that run, which I'm sure Dwayne Casey would have loved to be able to have the services of one Kawhi Leonard when he was trying to make his championship run. And I'm sure he would have loved to have LeBron James not in the conference too. You're looking at this situation with the Raptors. I'm just like, okay, when you get a gift like that, why not keep those people in control who allowed you to get this point? But maybe, I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at the roster construction and the ability to get some things done, and you hear stuff like, early on when it was known that Giannis might seek for a trade, one of the teams that I heard earliest that there's mutual interest was the Raptors and Giannis. I would have to believe that Masai has a lot to do with that, as well as what he's done to be able to give a nice, promising roster that if Giannis were to go there, they would have some pieces at least. They would try to keep Scotty Barnes, B.I., Brandon Ingram, and Giannis. That would have been crazy in this Eastern Conference.
Yeah, you look at them now. They've got Scotty Barnes, who he's a good player, but I know Kool-Aid, that's not your guy, but he's a good player. Full stop. Full stop with Scotty Barnes. He's a good player. He's a good player, but notice how
he's on my trash list too,
I just say good player and nothing else. You've
got trashed.
And that's fine. That's fine. You've got RJ Barrett. You've got Brandon Ingram. I mean, I don't know. They could maybe make the playoffs. I mean, Brandon Ingram's health is always in question, but I think this year they were on track to probably have their best year in a couple, but what does it even mean? Because even with those guys, I don't think they're championship contender, but it really wasn't a long leash for Masai Ujiri.
Chaz said Toronto is how Pistons fans want Tom Gross to move like. And I mean, to be honest with you, he moved really, really, really quickly with Monty Williams. You know what? Dwayne Casey, he didn't get it necessarily as long coaching this team, and they didn't even give him the effort. They said, bro, after 1 year and he made the playoffs, they said, yeah, we're going to rebuild right now. But at least they've continued to extend, hey, we respect your basketball acumen. Do you want to join the front office? They did the same thing with Troy Weaver, who was promised probably a little bit more to have the ability to see this thing through fruition. But even he was shown the door. I do believe, like I said, our organizations are at a much more healthy standpoint, and it starts with who you have in that front office. And that's what's intriguing, because I don't know where you're going from here if you're the Toronto Raptors. It's going to be interesting to see what their front office selection is. I see Weezy D313. He's wondering where Masai is heading. I'm wondering who does Toronto have in mind already? Because if you aren't going to bring him back, maybe they have something in mind. I don't think that this is good business by the Raptors.
Masai will get another job.
Yeah.
100% he will, just because I think he's somebody who has a cachet in the league. And Chase, just really quick, do we have anybody on the line right now?
What up, though, with Detroit Gunny if we have what is like this contact list that's like saving? So, what up, Joe, with Detroit Gunny? Can you hear the guys live on the air?
What up, though? Thank you for calling, brother.
Hey, what up, fellas? Hey. What up, though?
What up, though, man? Thank you for calling, man. You're quickly he's one of those guys that's active in the chat, and now he's active with the phone lines. Soon, listen, bro, if you got the opportunity, definitely record some video questions and send them to us, and we'll feature you here on the show too. But what up, though, with Detroit Gunny?
Yeah, thanks, fellas. Yeah, I'm still figuring this all out on how to record and get you guys content and stuff. Last night I was at Hendel's Barrel House in Temecula, California. Dan Henderson, UFC Hall of Famer, had us there for the Veteran Beer Club. And, man, it was a great time. Had one too many Mexican lagers last night, but, yeah.
Cervezos.
Yeah, so a little bit of a fuzzy head this morning, but that's all good.
Lagers, the milkshake of beers.
Yeah, a lot of things going on in the sports world. You know, I'm not hating the Pistons pick. You know, we need a shooter. You know, will he be a role player down the line? You know, I'm not. It's not the second coming of like a Richard Hamilton or you know, whatever. But you know, we'll see. You know, again, I'm not hating on a second round pick. And to combat Justin's retort towards Hunter Dickinson and Vlad Golden, hey, look, I'm not expecting an undrafted free agent to come in and dominate Jokic or any other known, you know, big man. I'm just saying for developmental purposes, you know, we are a little bit weak in the front court. Isaiah Stewart went down. He's not that tall to begin with. He might be a force underneath, but you know, he can't stay healthy for a whole season, and especially for the playoffs. You know, we need to look at other alternatives. Again, it may not be a Hunter Dickinson or a Vlad Golden, but I don't know if there was anybody else out there as far as potential big men to develop.
Wait a minute. So Hunter Dickinson isn't the Antichrist? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, I mean, he had some pretty good games for Michigan. I'm not gonna lie, you know. And same with Vlad, you know. And their overall stats, if you want to look at just, you know, statistic purposes, you know, 17 points a game. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's against college level basketball. You know, it might be a lot different in the NBA, of course, but that's why they're developmental players, you know. And I've already read somewhere that people were going crazy over the Vlad Golden to Miami, that he's going to be, you know, do some damage down there. So again, you know, not trying to cause drama with debating on standing on a hill for those two guys, but you know, it is what it is.
You are speaking to a Hunter Dickinson stan and lifelong defender.
Yeah, the desk is a little raised up on Fennell's side right now. He probably wasn't expecting to get this type of support.
I know, right?
From
That's why I'm
someone in
like,
the
whoa.
chat. And you know what? I hear him talking about Isaiah Stewart too, and that's one where, you know what? They did everything in their power this year to have a healthy Stu, including him playing him a league low, a career, you know, pretty low, 19 minutes per game, which disqualified him for a lot of postseason awards, for any postseason awards. And we talked about how this increased all of his stats across the board where you want to see, especially his stocks, his field goal percentage, his efficiency. But then you get to the playoffs and it still wasn't quite enough. He got injured. You still need him a part of your mix, in my opinion. But I agree with you. It is time to bolster and get more of those types of guys on this team so that you have a front court that is dependent on front court players and not front court player. I agree with that, Gunny.
Yeah, and then just a transition over to, you know, the hottest team in baseball, even though they're playing 500 baseball right now, the Detroit Tigers. I mean, what more can you say about them? You know, you get a guy that hasn't pitched since 2021 and he throws 5 shutout innings. Like, that's amazing. Jack Flaherty, where are you watching, please? I mean, that's how you do get it done when you need a victory. I'm just saying. I don't know what it is with Flaherty. Every single time I watch him pitch, we lose. So maybe I just got to stop watching when he pitches. I don't know what it is, but yeah. I mean, as far as any moves go, it's gonna be interesting because, you know, we have a good dynamic within the clubhouse, and you know, to bring in somebody, you know, you got to make sure that they're a fit, you know, with what we're doing, not just say, okay, this is the best reliever out there, or this is the next best starting pitcher that we can go and get, or you know, to me, I think third base is the big question, because Looking out there, for trade possibilities, it seems like there's a lot. But as far as shortstops go, I mean, I think Javi should just have that locked down, and Trey just becomes a role player. I mean, I don't know. Love Zach's hustle. I mean, he had such a weird game yesterday. He got thrown out at third, being aggressive on the base paths, and then got thrown out at home, being aggressive on the base path, but then also had a triple. So, shout out. Or he actually had a single stretch to a double as well. So,
yeah.
Zach's speed is insane out there. Love seeing him run the base path.
Hey, shout out to What Up, Though, with Detroit Gunny. You dropping some heat and a lot of good points here. And I know we got some other callers, too, that we're going to get to. But thank you for calling in, brother.
Yeah, the phone line.
Thanks for having me, guys. And let's go Tigers. Let's beat these Twinkies over the weekend.
Let's go.
Yeah, the phone lines are full. Thank you. What up, with Detroit Gunny? We have another familiar caller on the line, Devin the Dog.
Hey, Pride of Inkster.
Should be live on the air right now.
Yo, 51 Clothing Support. What up, though, brother?
What's up, gang? How's it been? How's it going? Bueno, how's it going, sir? I have to be gentle and grateful with you. I ain't got much to say today, but, hey, I want to give a shout-out to Stick. Yesterday, I mistakenly showed up to that weed event that was only vendors only, and somehow they allowed me through the door because of Woodward Sports. I appreciate y'all. I apologize. Hey, look, going forward, I know now not to ever do that shit ever again, but I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to pop up and see and show my support and see the game, but only saw Brady, but that was worth it.
Bro,
I got to see Brady and the.
When we say chat family, we mean that, bro. You have supported. You've bought merch. You have defended. You've put on, like, trust me, man. I remember the start of WUW too, and you're one of those ones, both in person, both in the DMs, and both what you did to try and shower as much gifts and love on us. Bro, trust me, as much as we can, we'll look out, man. Shout out to Woodward. Shout out to Stick, because you guys mean the most to us. That's not just talk. I promise you that.
Absolutely, and once again, guys, don't play with fireworks. Don't put them close to your private parts this weekend. We don't want to see nobody getting blown up this weekend. Can we not be on JV's top? Please, just do it for us. And Flannel, all meat, no sides this weekend, right, bud? That's all we need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As always.
Boy, what about legends?
Go Detroit Lions. I feel like a crackhead right now because I ain't got no Detroit Lions, and I got to catch up on all my other sports. But let's go. I appreciate y'all waking me up and following me through my 12-hour shift, man. It's hot as hell out here. Let's get it.
Let's go. Fired up now. Let's go, Devin the Dog, man. I got that Kool-Aid cheese on my face. It's dope to hear our chat family calling in, the ones that we know we have a lot of interaction with daily, man. Shout out to you guys. I'm hoping everybody's having a blessed day. We got you said a couple more, huh?
Yes. We have Eric Minion Senior, I believe. It might have been Junior. Eric, if I got it wrong, my bad. But Eric Minion.
OG.
Live
Woodward
on
Pistons
the air. Can you hear
and
the
Woodward
guys?
Sports. What up, though, Eric Minion? Thank you for supporting and calling in, brother. Is he on?
Hello.
Eric, you there, buddy? One.
Calling
2,
Eric.
3.
Eric, my guy, you there?
Hear me?
Hey,
yeah.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
Hey, what up, though?
Hey, what up, though, man? And I like to shout out the OGs who support Woodward Sports, this show, as well as Woodward Pistons. You're one of those guys. Shout out to you, Eric.
Oh man, thanks, man. It's been a minute, y'all, since I've been able to call in. I don't be in the chat as much because I be working, man. So I just want to say, man, I be listening every day, man. Y'all keep me going. But I just want to say, what up, though, Kool-Aid? Lano?
What up?
Man. So I was thinking about the Chaz near pick and Kool-Aid. I'm about to bring you back to an old school player.
Talk to me.
Like back in not pretty much old school, but in 2000 when Sacramento was doing their thing. Like he didn't get much minutes, but when he came in, he was a firework. Bobby Jackson.
For the Kings. Bobby Jackson for the Kings.
For the Kings.
Yes.
For the Kings. Came in.
He was gasoline.
Straight specialist. Straight pointer. 3-point specialist. That's what he can do. You said, you called this Kool-Aid. You said we need a specialist. That's what he is. He's a sniper. That's what Bobby Jackson was. Bobby Jackson came in and probably played like
10, 15 minutes, it probably gave you 5 threes. It was out. But those 5 threes was big. But I just want to say, man, I like what the Pistons doing. And mark my words, one season with Cade and Ivy, if they get a whole season together, I guarantee they will be one of the best young backcourts in the league. Mark my words, Kool-Aid. Everybody who want to give up on Ivy, Flano, mark my words.
As
young backcourt in the league.
Hey, you know that I have no problem with Ivy as long as you're a rational Ivy fan who loves the Pistons and loves all the players.
I am.
Yes, I know.
Hey, it ain't Kool-Aid. It ain't Kool-Aid. I'm with you. All this Tyrese Halliburton and Scotty Barnes and Jalen Green, wherever you want to put near Cade, man, smack them down. They ain't nowhere near us. Hey, that guy.
Collins got me fired up.
Hey,
this
that
morning,
guy.
dog.
And I'm calling it right now. Pistons, top 14 in the East. We almost won, 46, almost 46 games without Ivy. Imagine what we can do with him. Y'all got a small glimpse of what him and KD did together. So imagine a whole season of that. I just want to say I love y'all. Everybody have a blessed day. Stay cool. And I'm out.
Hey, shout out to you, man. Love you too, bro. Eric Mann Sr., one of the guys who was supported for a very long time. I'm glad he got the opportunity to call in, especially when I know that sometimes we see him in the chat. He don't get to always be in the chat, but I'm glad that he's always tapped in, man. So shout out to the callers. And during the Kings years is where you see if he can reach this. That's where Bobby Jackson was getting the 3 or 4 or 5 3-point attempts per game that I'm wondering, can our guy get to? And he was shooting between about 34 and 38% from behind the arc, almost 39% when he got to Memphis, too, at 4.7 attempts from behind the arc. So, yeah, I actually I can get it. Bobby Jackson was shorter than Chaz Lanier, 6'1", maybe 6'2" type guy. But I can understand the pick, the role, and the comparison.
I remember when I was a young buck, one of my family friends who was a basketball fan as well. This was when the Kings were making their run, when they were
so fun.
They were so fun. Unfortunately, they never made a finals because, man, they just were in a tough era with the Spurs and the Lakers. But
Big shot, Bob.
Talked about Mike Bibby and whatnot, and me as like an 8-year-old, 9-year-old was like, I like Bobby Jackson better. So shout out Bobby Jackson. That man.
No, I'm not letting you do this.
What?
You don't mention the Kings and not mention his name.
Chris Webber?
No, but shout out to Chris Webber.
Who? Scott Pollard?
No.
Doug Christie?
No.
Peja?
Come on, dog. Say his name. Say his name.
You know the guy who was
Say
the
his
downgrade,
name.
who was the most overhyped figure in the history of basketball. White Chocolate was a bomb. He was a bomb. Mike Bibby was 5 times the player that White Chocolate was. Nobody can make a great pass and then throw the ball right out of bounds right after that than old White. Well, yeah, I mean.
What up, JB?
Like this, come on, don't
Hey,
do that.
shout out to Jason.
These MFers want to put him in the Hall of Fame because he was Mr. Fancy Pants.
White
Fancy passer.
He's a champion.
Oh yeah, with the Heat, yeah.
He's a
Shout out.
champion.
Respect.
He's a champion. If you want, wins.
Hey, I see you
Jason
shot
Williams.
Jason Williams, baby. Hey, you remember how the elbow pass?
The back elbow
in the
pass,
All-Star
yeah.
game? It was like, woo! I think wasn't that the Rising Stars or was the All-Star? I forget which one he was in, but shout out to the guy because he was there that weekend because he's a good player. Shout out to Jason Williams.
Oh, you mean
Williams.
0-time All-Star Jason Williams? It was most certainly the All-Rookie, the Rising Stars.
I tried to sneak it in.
Oh my goodness! Hey, good pull by you. I wasn't. I was on my best behavior
I
all
told
day.
myself. All right.
No, but yeah, Bobby Jackson. I mean, I'm not saying that. That's a good pull because he was right up there in Sixth Man of the Year voting for like 4 years straight. Was very, very good from behind the arc and was just a really good player.
That was a good one, but I think we got somebody special on the line.
Yes.
Let's roll.
We have another familiar caller on the line. I don't know how often they've called in, but they've definitely come in studio quite a bit. Do we have you on the line, Willie B?
Hey, Mr. Janai Broom himself. Listen, he is adopted Janai Broom as his godson now. What up, though, Willie?
Yeah.
B. what you doing, Justin? Hold on, Willie B.
Hold on, Willie.
Hold on, Willie B. Justin is finding his headset. He's running around the office looking for headphones.
He'll have the video to replay
Take your time because I got. It's all good, Ryan. You're good, man. You're doing a great job when it comes to analyze the John Boom. That's okay. It's all good. And Justin, all that bullshit you talk about, it's all love, though.
Hold on, he just got the headphones in. Talk to him.
All right. Hey, Woodward Jesus, brother, how you been, man? True. I just let you know, 76ers are smart enough to pick John Broome because they need an extra backup for Joel Embiid. You never know. And yes, and I ain't sorry. That was smart on 76ers part. And the Pistons made a good choice of picking Chaz Lanier, which is Lanier the 3D type of guard. So that's a good pick for both parties. So all that yin okay. But y'all need a big. Detroit Pistons need a big. They just need a stretch forward that can stretch and rebound. And I say John Broome could be a good, decent, maybe not. But when it comes to it, Pistons made a good pick. They made a good pick, and 76ers made a good pick too. So hey, I think we'll give them down on that one. And all of a sudden, Pistons need a legitimate forward. You got to have Nash Reed, or you got Jason Collins. You got to have Jason Collins if you can't just get Nash Reed or Bobby Portis. You got to play devil's advocate. Pistons got to find a way in the free agency to get a quality stretch forward. Get a quality stretch forward, and definitely they need an extra two guard. If it's Dennis Schroeder or keep Malik Beasley. Those are the options. And Pistons ought to make a very selective choice of picking the right player for their roster. So I'm looking at that, and I'm not mad about both draft picks, but athleticism and skill, you can't have a both when it comes to basketball. I'm talking to you as a basketball scout when it comes to look at a player, analyze a player. Yes, you look at John Boone's unathletic. Yes, but he's got a skill set, like Zach Randolph. He don't have athleticism, but you got the skill set and use a body. Yes, 6'10", 240 pounds. That's small for a center. No lie about that. When you put on a power forward, if you utilize his size, utilize his his ability, he can make a way. But it's a second round draft pick. They go to G League. Both of them guys. So.
Look at Justin over there. He's just shaking his head. Justin not buying it.
Hey! I'm telling you, I'm talking about basketball perception. So yeah, man. So I like it. That was pretty good.
Shout out to Willie B, dog. Hey, bro. Hey, shout out to you too, man. We got your clip in the beginning. You were spot on, man. We told Willie B. We didn't even have to tell him to do his homework. Willie B loves this type of stuff, man. He was so pumped up about this draft season, about the prospects, and it was interesting to hear him lay out his players, his likes, and realistically, that second round board kind of fell in some of the ways that we've all been talking about. So, Amon-Ra Broome, he did get taken a little bit higher than I thought he was. So, you know what? You get to have that feather in your cap for right now, Willie B. But something tells me that Justin believes when the season starts, he's going to snatch that feather out the cap.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that Willie said is we need a stretch forward. He believes that Jedi Broome would be that guy to be that stretch forward. And I can tell you that he is not a
stretch forward at all. He cannot shoot. He cannot play defense. And he cannot, I could not see him being able to guard some of these power fours that are athletic, like him on Naz Reid, him on Lauri Markkanen, all these guys we're talking about. I could never see Jedi Broome have the ability to guard them or even score on them offensively. Yeah, he has skill, but he has skill that he's developed over multiple years of college against college kids. He is a college weight bully, and that is where I get off the highway. It's just he's not going to be a good NBA player, and he's not a stretch four. He's not. He's a center, an undersized center, and we don't need more big men that can't shoot.
Listen, I need that to become a term on your college show, okay? I need the college weight bullies for both football and basketball, man.
Because there are a ton of them.
Keep that index. That's actually pretty hilarious, bro.
You got to be Justin. You got to be on offense. You got to be on.
I'll jersey bet you too.
You go get me on that.
Junai Broom will not be good. I can guarantee.
Like you, man. I love you, man. Doing my lane, bro. My lane. Love you, Justin.
Love you, Billy B.
Bro, we keep hating, bro. This is what it is.
Hey, look, Monday, let's set this thing up. When you're in again, we got to make sure Justin's in. We're going to set this thing up. The Janai Broom jersey bet. Let's go.
Yeah, jersey bet. Who's going to do good? I talk about G League. If they do better in the preseason, good. If I'm wrong, I'm ready to Chaz Lanier jersey, which I like. I picked Chaz to be, be in the Pistons anyway. But if him has a big stretch for, if he adds at least, if he gets double in the preseason, you gonna wear that shit, bro. I'm gonna tell you that.
We might just have to buy a Janai Broom jersey just for here, and based on his performance per game, you guys got to wear it.
What kind of liquor you want, Justin?
If he plays trash, Willie B wears it on the show. If he plays great, Justin got to wear the jersey on the show.
Willie's talking about like the preseason and the G League.
He said if he gets a
That's not what I'm talking about with Chaz Lanier, man. That's what Janai Broom's future is. Chaz Lanier will be on the Pistons for at least part of the year and will play minutes. Okay. Janai Broom will be in the G League. He'll be a good G Leaguer, actually. He'll be like Mac McClung.
I got a question. Is Geronimo going to average double in the G League? Yes or no?
He's asking, is Janai Broom going to average a double-double in the G League? Justin's saying yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah, 100%.
He's very skilled. He's yeah.
In the G League.
Will there.
Yeah, and the Chaz Lanier will average 24 in the G League. Mark my words, because he's in a good system. And another player, Toulouse Smith. People sleep on him. He averaged a double-double in the G League all season. He's a good stretch forward.
Well, look, Willie, we're gonna get you back in here. We're gonna get this because I'm seeing people now. They're saying that they want to see this. They want to see the player watch. I think the people want the jersey bet. We're gonna definitely get this thing locked down, bro.
Jersey bet and a Carter's chocolate milk, Justin.
A carton of chocolate milk.
A carton of chocolate milk. Shout out Willie B. Hey, chat family, hit that like button for Willie B. Throw some fire emojis in the chat for our brother. Can't wait to get you back in studio, bro. And I know you're working hard. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah, love you guys.
Yes, sir, bro. Have a good day, man. Be blessed. Shout out to our brother Willie B.
Do we want to do what's trending, Mr. JB?
Do we have any more phone calls?
No, that was our last caller.
Oh yeah, cool, yeah.
Do we need to? We probably need to do lots of reads.
Yeah, we got to do several reads right now. So, White Claws Tour, Lady Jane's, and Loom.
That's right. Hey, let me do this right. Victory Shades, right? For the White Claw Tigers Tour, calling all Tigers fans. That's you guys right there. Join us for the White Claw Tigers Tour. We're supposed to be hitting 4 of the top bars in Detroit to watch the Tigers game live on the network. And I got my White Claw Tigers Tour Victory Shades on, and you can get a pair too if you show up to the events. Shout out to Jake from White Claw. We already hit McShane's, we already hit Nemo's, and the atmosphere was electric. Each event has been better, and I know Nemo's is going to be on point. So you can join a whole bunch of the crew Sunday night, June 29th, for our third stop on the tour at the Old Miami in Detroit. Be part of the fun and see our reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to one of the hottest teams in baseball. And if you're there, you'll be on the network too. It's the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw and Vin Johnson Law. Hey guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
And Loom.
Enjoy Loom Cannabis refreshing, buzzing favorites like watermelon, cherry, strawberry, or cool off with 2 new summer flavors, raspberry lemonade and peach. Crack a can, take a sip, and catch a buzz. They're available at any of Loom's 38 locations across Michigan, and you can save 30% off your entire order online or in store by using code WSN30 with your order. Go to www.loom.com today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials include a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab lease for $149 per month, or a 2026 Equinox LT lease for $209 per month. Then next up is Jars, JB. Awesome. Woodward sports fans. Whether you're hitting a game or simply just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is one of Michigan's largest lineup of recreational cannabis products, and they've got 27 locations across the state of Michigan, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 of those locations are right here in the Metro Detroit area, so there's always one nearby. New stores are coming your way soon. Check out Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, Michigan, and go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite products today.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
It's JB Smooth, our MVP. You guys know what to do.
Hey, what's up, chat family? What's up, fellas? I'm gonna hop into these videos because I know we're a little bit short on time, and we got to record Woodward Wings very shortly as well too. Shout out to Spinny in the building as well. But guys, we got some construction going on. There's Spinny right there. We got construction going on right now. You guys wonder why it takes so long? I got the answer for you.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. What? Yeah. Come on, God.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, this is the real work, right?
Yeah, right.
Really?
I'll be honest with you. I can beat a lot of people at this. I cannot freaking solve Queen Kool-Aid.
At Connect 4?
Have you seen the one
I
with the...
cannot freaking beat her. Dog, my wife kicks my tail in this game.
Did you do the basketball like
that
Connect
one
4?
I win.
Yeah.
That one I definitely win. But the regular game, and
So
she knows,
regular
like,
Connect 4, you can't beat.
bro, I don't know what it is, but she kicks my tail. And I'm just like, I've just stopped. I was like, you know what? That's just yours now. That's just yours.
There's a strategy to Connect 4 because JB, you remember this guy. Remember Chris King from our old job?
Oh, yeah.
The greatest Connect 4 player that I've ever seen in my entire life. We were at an event one day.
He's also the greatest NBA Jam player I've ever seen before in my entire life as well, too.
A specialist at life. We literally played like 12 times in an event. He was 12-0 against me. And I'm
Get
like,
him
it's
in the
Connect
studio.
4. How are you that good? But shout out Chris. Shout out Chris.
That's
my
all
guy.
I'm saying. Like,
How do you
it's
do that?
Connect 4. Like,
It's Connect 4. It's not random. It's very skill based.
This is interesting though.
But yeah, that's what's happening when construction takes forever to get done. As always.
That's why our roads have been getting worked on for like years.
Yep, because they're over there playing Connect 4 with the equipment. But just like them, whenever the new guy is on the job, you always want to make a good impression. But you probably don't want to go this hard on your first day. Yep, just roofing, normal roofing job. Yeah, we just put this right here. Go on.
While someone's talking to him, oh my gosh, what in the world?
No harness or anything.
No harness, no nothing. Go
Oh,
on.
dude, no. If you wear a harness, like you're gonna get called a pussy.
What? I'm up in the air. Like,
Dude,
no, I'm
I
not
spent
doing
a
it.
summer on the
That
roofs.
fall, you probably got beat up like
I
what?
spent a summer on the roofs. The only time we
Call
wore a
me one,
harness
don't
when
beat
we
me
had
up.
like a 10-12 pitch. It was like, think of like an A-frame house. Like it's like steep. You can't even stand on it.
Yeah.
And you gotta like use jacks to like put the shingles on. It. Other than that, like you're just, if you fall, hey, just don't fall, kid.
Spinny, look at
Don't
this,
fall. Like
Yeah,
that's your advice. Just don't fall.
Yeah, I mean, does it?
No harness.
No harness at all.
No.
I don't know.
Go!
I'd be willing to bet he's Hispanic, but
No, I'm just like everything in my body is like I would at least have on several different. Strap me to the roof. I am now part of the house, bro. That can't happen to me.
no, I mean, you can't really like. You have to move around so much on the roof. You can't really be strapped in. You have all of those like cords or ropes or anything. Like everything's gonna get tangled up. Like you just got like if you're scared, then you're not roofing.
I'm not roofing. I got a newfound respect right now. That's straight up.
It's like a like reach in your pants, find your nuts, and then get up there, bud. Like,
nope, not doing that at all.
I can find my nuts for a lot of things, but for this one, I'll allow those people to have that.
Yeah.
Whoa there. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. It's time to play another game of what happens next. So I'm gonna pause the video. You guys let me know what happens next.
Oh man.
Oh,
he doesn't make this.
What happens next?
This guy's midsection is going to die.
Yeah. Just my spleen or my kidney or something.
You can tell already from that jump. That's a scared punch. That wasn't like, I got this. My man is like, oh, I'm not going to make it straight from the jump, bro. I already see this one.
So you guys think he's not going to make it?
I think this guy's going to have a midsection like transplant.
Well, let's find out.
If he makes it.
Oh
my goodness. What?
That was way worse.
Too much height with the back leg.
Did he
Caught him
punch
up.
himself in the neck?
Caught himself a little bit.
Oh my word.
And that's.
Yeah, I think his back leg caught the edge there. That kind of messed everything up. So there's that.
Dang. That's unfortunate.
It's rough sledding for the guy right there. Rough sledding. But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop in the mailbag while we got some time left.
Because I saw some other people that were trying to jump from their deck over to the pool, and they just landed right on their belly, bro. Second deck. Shout out to Spin Dog. That's crazy. But you know what? I think that is a show.
Well, we got one more thing. What Up Doe with Detroit Gunny actually sent a
shout out
picture
to What Up
from
Doe.
his event last night with former MMA fighter Dan Henderson. That's Dan. Hey, shout out.
Hey.
Spenny's a big MMA fan. He's in the room. Dan Henderson's on the left. What Up Doe with Detroit Gunny is on the right. Man, it looks like a fun event. Hey, he absolutely is. And I hope the weather is nice. And it's Temecula, California. So a shout out.
Temecula.
Shout out.
Meet me in Temecula.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I feel like that was in a movie.
Yes, it's. I don't know. I don't remember.
So
which one.
hard.
It's familiar.
Like so hard or something like that.
It was in something. I know it became funny in memes too. Spinny's in bliss right now. Let's break this thing down so Woodward Wings can get going, because I know there's a lot that they're going to cover with the NHL draft tonight. I came dressed appropriately, and I know that Justin and Cole, the guys, going to have the live stream going. Spinny, you going to be in the building tonight too?
Yeah.
Hey, so let's rock. Let's rock. So let's get this chess pass going, and make sure you guys can start to get this content recorded, and then tap in for the NHL draft party tonight, the draft show tonight. Shout out to Spin Dog in the massage chair. But in the sound booth, we have Cavassier Chase holding it down. What up, brother?
Hey, what's up? I hope you guys have a good weekend. You got to go check out No Chill with JB Smooth. Hope you guys have a good weekend. New episode 7 drops tomorrow. Lucky number 7. Go check it out, and go check out episodes 1 through 6, and like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Do it for JB. If you don't, I hate you.
Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth, JB Smooth. Like this guy, watch his content, or Chase just really hate you. What up, though, JB Smith?
No, like Chase. The Chase Lounge. I got the opportunity to be on the Chase Lounge once again this morning. I appreciate the invite once again. Go check out the Chase Lounge. Go check out Fast and Loose. It's out right now. Me and KG will be recording tonight, so another episode of Woodward Ringside will be out for you for Saturday, getting you prepared for Night of Champions that is actually in the afternoon at 1 in the afternoon, so it's kind of weird, but still. Night of Champions out in Saudi Arabia right now, even though what's going on with the world, but WWE is still putting on, so check it out.
Hey, that dude Justin, I see you over there, brother. Big night for you, big night for Woodward Wings. Hopefully a big night for the Wings. What up, though?
What up, though? Make sure you tap in 7 p.m. tonight, right after heavyweights. Me and Spencer will be here, ripping hockey talk, hanging out with you till the Red Wings pick or trade the pick. If they do pick, it will be Victor Uklund from Sweden, very on brand for the Red Wings. So make sure you tap in. Appreciate all the support, and we'll see you later.
Terrell Lamar, when will y'all be giving basketball cards away? I want one. Let's start doing that again. We'll bring back some giveaways. We'll have some cool ways that we can do it. I know E&E. And I see A-Dis who says only Anson does the cards. We'll do some giveaves. Y'all
I got a CMC card we can give away.
Hey,
old Christian McCaffrey is graded too, so it's I think a 9.5.
Ooh,
Bring it. If you want to give it away, bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's do that, man. Let's do that. And you know what? The vet of the squad, the vet of the network, that is Flannel Sam. What up, though? Wearer of one Riley Bean jersey every day.
Hey.
Man of your word.
Take out the trash with the Twins this weekend.
That is very well stated.
They are the trash. They did dip below 500 with that losing streak.
Oh, so we agree on this trash. Not Tyrese Halliburton. We agree on that too, right?
What the hell?
Not even a top 10 individual playoff run since 2018.
Not
Not even top 10.
Let's go, man. It's your boy Brandon Day, KD Drake Kool-Aid, your credential pistol reporter for the network. Smash that like button if you haven't got an opportunity to. We see the love in the chat. Thank you guys for supporting. Stay tapped in Woodward Sports. Go Chaz Lanier. Let's rock.